Jeff Shi has done an interview for the first time, and it feels like forever, especially a filmed interview. I don't know why he didn't do it with the Wolves social media team, but he's done it with a Business of Sport podcast. Should Wolves fans be worried? I listened to it. I'm going to go through a few clips, react to them. So he was asked about his first season as chairman.
We didn't know much. The first season, 2016, 2017, was a nightmare for me because first, I think I didn't have enough knowledge about the league at the moment, championship even.
Yeah, he didn't have a clue what he was doing the first season, didn't know the championship. But
I feel the 2 years with Nuno in the Premier League and was not so stable for us because we were a little bit lucky sometimes on the pitch and to win a game, and we played quite defensively, so we played 3-5-2, sometimes 3-4-3, and very deep, very deep, and the whole team was not so quick. They were slow. We were a slow team, but we were very quick on counter attack, and we have maybe Adama Traore.
To just put all that down to look is really disrespectful to Nuno, in my opinion. Tactically, we're brilliant, and he contradicts himself. He says we're too slow, but then he said we played really fast on the counter attack. So that there just shows is an insight into Jeff Shi's football knowledge, if you ask me. That season, those 2 seasons were incredible. We could beat anybody on our day, and our counter-attacking style was mustard, and it got us deep in the Europa League as well, and it got us to an FA Cup semi-final. This clip was one of my favourites. Just listen for yourself, where Jeff Shi talks about spending.
So sometimes there is a mind trap now in football. You feel you spend a little bit more, you feel safer. It's for your emotional value in your heart. But actually, science tells you it's no difference, but you still want to spend.
But here first, everybody. If you spend, it might make you feel safer, but technically it don't make you better. So yeah, when Wolves didn't spend, we didn't struggle, did we, if you remember? The times we've struggled the most is when we haven't spent enough, especially in summer transfer windows. And the way we got ourselves out of trouble twice was by spending in January's. The Lamina one, when we got Lamina and Dawson in. And then recently when we got Manetzi and Agbadu in. Look, I'm trying to find some positivities, but this next clip, it's about how he feels a gap between Man City is these days. Just listen to what he has to say.
At the moment, we are more close to Man City than we were 3 or 4 years ago, because there are more and more talent in the world, more and more players. They are good at the level.
This is just a joke, in my opinion. How are we closer? In the first 2 years in the Premier, we come 7th, and they were up there. Since Nuno got sacked, we've gone down, 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 down. We've gone down a few places every season, and Man City have constantly been top 4 and winning the league. So how you can say we're closer now to Man City than ever is quite laughable to me. There's no way our team at the moment is as strong as our team was back then, and we used to beat Man City quite a lot back then as well. And he was asked about who he regretted selling the most.
I think in the last 9 or 8 years, I think we shouldn't have sold Diogo Jota. I think at that time, I spoke with Nuno, and we may sell one of the players, maybe Diogo, Adama, whatever. Then Nuno chose Adama to stay, so because he thinks maybe Adama was so important for how he played.
So if that's true what he's saying, you've got to blame Nuno for that. But it's annoying that Nuno had to sell one of his best players, which is pretty much what Jeff said, to balance the books. But to pick Adama Traore over Jota, if Nuno really did do that, that is horrendous. And naturally, the next clip is, who is his biggest regret in terms of signing a player? Who was the biggest waste? Obviously, he's going to say Fabio Silva.
Yeah, maybe the worst deal is Patrick Cutrone.
Cutrone weren't bad, but come on. Fabio's the biggest flop. But I guess because at the time of recording, Fabio Silva's still a Wolves player, he probably didn't feel comfortable in saying that. And also because he backed Fabio Silva so much. I get it. He was asked about social media and the negativity he gets towards him.
The social media is not all the fans. So if you look at the social media, you will feel a lot of very negative or toxic fans are always on social media. But that's the the world we are living now because the algorithm now, and we are living in a social media cocoon, something like this. So the social media always pushed the related content to you. So if you only rely on that, you are not seeing the whole world.
Look, I do agree to a certain point that like Twitter and that can be a bit of an echo chamber and a negative echo chamber, but I do think it's a massive feeling of how the fan base feels at the time. So to completely ignore that and just say don't listen to social media and you don't take that much from it, it's probably, out of all the clips so far, it's probably the most I agree with him with, where if you stopped every man on the street, they probably wouldn't all be as negative as social media is, because it is an echo chamber. But there is a lot of positivity on social media as well. But I'm sure, like most people, he only notices the really negative stuff, especially towards him after recent years.
Is on social media a lot of negative voice and oh, Jeff, why you are doing esports? I don't care, whatever, something like this. But in person, for example, when I engage with the fan group, whatever, and they are happy because esports help the club and to spread across the whole world, and then try to make more people know about us. So now Wolves, something I'm very proud of is 10 years ago, 9 years ago, Wolves is a kind of, in China we call it a kind of provincial club or whatever. So in an area, West Midlands, people are proud of the club in that area, but out of the area, no one knows about it. It's just, no one cares. But now Wolves is a club or a kind of organization, and all over the world, and people know about the logo, people know about the club. So that's what I want to do.
So yeah, esports is brilliant. Even though everybody on social media says it's terrible and it's annoying, because people say to his face that esports is good and the fans are proud of it, it's amazing. So I don't think esports is going anywhere anytime soon. But let's be honest, people in person are not going to walk up to Jeff Shi and go, Jeff, you're crap signing players, you're rubbish, you're the problem. It's just not going to happen, is it? Just to say as well, off the back of that, oh yeah, no one knew Wolverhampton, no one cared until he come in and started making esports. No one cared about Wolverhampton or Wolves. Not that we're one of the most historical clubs in the country, Jeff. Cheers, though. Cheers since you've come in. And that's it now. That's the only reason Wolves are known, because you've started to create esports. He's then asked about Molyneux and the capacity.
On the capacities, we have 32,000 seats at the moment, and I think it's good enough. And maybe 35 or 40, maybe the max for the city. But it's not very urgent. I think the urgent change is we should have more hospitality areas, and to maybe to serve the clients from the business, and they want to have a better environment to have a conference or to eat there or whatever. And we should do more on this. And we have a very old stand called Steel Ball Stand, and it's too old. So it's built maybe in 1980s, but so the next plan is try to change a bit there and try to build a more area for hospitality, for more business clients to come to enjoy there. So similar to what Fulham did, and for the
new stand.
The new stand. But
this pretty much sums up Jeff for me, this clip. It's all about corporate money and business. He don't care about the local fan and the pricing out local fans. We saw that when he put the ticket prices up, and he was really didn't want to budge on re-lowering the under-12s tickets when there's a big protest from the fans. He wants Molyneux corporate and loads of people spending loads of money. So, as you said, what he said there, the Steve Ball stand will become Fulham's stand. Fulham's new stand, it's like 800 quid a ticket in there, and it's a big, massive stand of just corporate hospitality. So in about 10 years, that's what Steve Ball's going to be. Talking of his relationship with the fans, this is what he said about trying to keep the relationship with local fans good, basically.
I think you should be yourself. So I have to be myself, and my team have to be themselves, and try to lead the local fans to join your journey, not just to follow the local fans to their journey.
Like, local fans have been going years, are a pain in Jeff's ass. They're a pain in his ass for what he wants to do. He does not care about the local fan.
I saw this quote, but when you said if you only want to pursue trophies or consistent European football, Wolves might not be an ideal choice. Is that because you're talking about the breadth of all of what you've got to do. So you're not saying that obviously you're not trying to compete at the top.
It's more about I'm totally against a traditional way to do football. So I think I don't like the traditional ways people like to talk about, like a new stadium, a fancy new stadium, a fancy new owner, spend 1 billion, 2 billion, whatever, buy fancy players, whatever. Then I think that model is okay for fans. It's okay for the government. It's okay for the city, maybe, but it's not okay for the owners.
He's wormed his way out of that a bit. He's basically saying that Fosun are not Saudi owners. They're not just going to pump loads of money in and just spend mad and try and get us up the league that way. So I think that's what he was trying to say with those quotes, and it was just poorly worded at the time. And the time he said them quotes were at such a bad time as well. It was always going to be uproar, but in a weird way, I'd give Jeff the benefit of the doubt here. I just think he just used the wrong words. I mean, English is not his first language. I think those quotes were just poor timing and a poor choice of words. I think the conclusion I take out of this podcast is, Jeff, just don't do interviews. Every time you speak, it's hard to find the positives out of what you say. Let someone else talk, I think, because the last time you spoke in the Express and Star, just before Gary O'Neill got sacked, you spoke about positive atoms and saying how good O'Neill is and you're going to back him, and then you sacked him 3 days later, whatever it was. So I'm sorry this has been such a negative video. This is my feelings. Watch the podcast yourself. Comment your thoughts down below, what you thought about the podcast. I'll leave a link to it. And fair play to the interviewers. I thought they did a good job without offending Jeff. Bizarre that he did it. Don't know why. Like I said at the beginning and the intro, I don't know why he just didn't do a Wolves one, which they used to do, the Ask Wolves series. But yeah, it's a very tough job, what he has to do. And he's damned if he does, he's damned if he doesn't, isn't he? You know what I mean? It's a hard job, but I just feel like the things he comes out with, he just never does himself any favours. But thanks for watching. Please like the video. Please subscribe. And comment your thoughts down below, everyone.